Hey everybody, welcome back to CALLOUS Invitational 6. It is yours truly, CALLOUS, and it is lower bracket action in round 4 between CALLOUS Invitational 3 champion, Triangles, and Jirachee, who has never won in CALLOUS Invitational, but a player that I'm very fond of and think very highly of, both as a guy and as a Pokemon player. Real quick before we get into it, gotta say it, guys. Donations, donations, donations. We've had a couple of $50 donations in recent times. Prize pool really building. We're up to $1,879 right now, which is great. Jabba is supposedly going to throw in a hundo on top of that. We'll see if he actually does or not. But either way, we are very close to hitting that goal of 2K, and then the only goal after that would be to exceed last year. But honestly, as long as it's 2K plus, I'm going to be really happy. So if you've been enjoying this content and you have any interest whatsoever in contributing, get in the Discord server, hit me up, and we can make that happen. Anything, $5, $10, whatever you can do. I know times are tough right now, but anything really does help, and I keep none of it. It all goes to the players. Alright, so with that out of the way, like I said, this is lower bracket action. Both of these players are playing to stay in the tournament. The loser will be eliminated. It's a tough pairing. I really like both these guys, but so it goes. Here is game 1 in their best of 3. Triangles on the bottom, Rachi's on the top. We have a lead Metacham that has really not been seen much at all in this tournament so far, I feel. But he's going to switch out with it from the lead meta. And now back to it. He was probably trying to catch something other than a Salamence. He's probably just going to go right back out. Looks like some kind of physical offense for Triangles, possibly for Jirachee too. Rachi's might be closer to mixed. And we see that the Metacham is not gaining leftovers, but that does not mean that he's banded. In fact, it doesn't look like he's banded based on the damage. I think he might be like Lumberry or something. He does go for Brick Break again. Meta got the attack raise. Not that he needs it against Cham, but helps. And he does just Brick Break again, so the Metacham was actually really ineffective this game. It doesn't do a whole lot, it dies to sand, and we move along. So there's a crit from Camerupt, who we've seen a little bit of love this tour, nothing too exciting. It's a neutral hidden power, so I guess Ice against the T-Tar, but then there is a Pursuit on the way out to hit the Camerupt pretty good, 47%. Gyarados going to DD up, takes the crunch fine, 35. Awkward roll, may or may not live another one after sand, but it's an over prediction of hidden power flying there. Does not go for EQ. However, he does survive the crunch plus the sand barely, and now he switches it up to EQ, which is correct this time, and evens up the game at 5-5. Big double edge on the way out. Claydol doesn't do anything. He simply kills himself with recoil. And then Triangles has to follow up with something that's faster than Claydol, which is not going to be the slow Lax or the slow Camerupt. So he opts for Mence here. And he gets a crit, which obviously matters because there's Intimidate there that wouldn't have anywhere near killed if not for that crit. But it was huge. And Jirachee, ever the gentleman, after Triangles apologizes, Jirachee simply says, "Don't worry about it. What a good guy." And we proceed with the game 4-4. Zard sneaks in on EQ. That's where you want to be. And he doubles back to Doll as well. Great play there for Jirachee. Going to get some value out of this very low Doll. And he ends up getting an Explosion, which Triangles doesn't have a fantastic answer for. Takes the camera up down with it. Like I said, he gets use out of a Pokemon that was very low thanks to good switching. Very well played for Jirachee, and it leaves us in a 5-5 situation here. Mence, which may or may not have Rock Slide, gonna have to eat a Dragon Claw, but he survives it no problem, and now he's gonna be faster after he DDs up, and that could be a huge issue for Jirachee given the current game state. He does in fact have Rock Slide, which is bad news for Charizard. Unless he's able to dodge one of those, this might just be over to the Salamence here. Meta's at 87% and should be able to survive, especially it's got Protect, so gotta be a bulky meta. Oh yeah, survives that comfortably, and he doesn't Protect there because he doesn't want to give Triangles the chance to go for a second DD, so that was the right play. So now it's 2-on-2. Zard's looking dangerous, but so is the Lax. Zard trying to sneak in now on EQ. He doesn't. He sneaks in on Lax, which is awkward. But man, especially if it is immunity rather than thick fat, do not underestimate the ability of Charizard in blaze range, possibly with Sunny Day, with Pattaya to Fire Blast, one hit KO that damn Lax. But hey, there is yet another relevant crit, a bit of a haxy game, and we are not going to get to see how this plays out because the crit followed with the boom, ends it just like that. We don't know what set of Charizard it was. In fact, I think, yeah, it only showed Dragon Claw, so we don't even know the full set. It probably wasn't a Sunny Day variant if it has Dragon Claw, but you never know. But we don't get to see the climactic late game this time around. It is simply a crit, and Triangles can't do anything after that. Jirachee going to take down game one and put Triangles, the CALLOUS Invitational 3 champion, one game away from elimination. Back against the wall, is going to have to string together two, something that a player of his caliber is obviously very capable of doing. And it's going to have to start here. Here's game two. Triangles will be on the bottom again, and Jirachee will be on the top again. Zapdos obviously a good lead against Skarm, and it is just an immediate Thunderbolt. Who needs to Thunder Wave when you can just get the 10% power with Thunderbolt? Regice is going to be even slower than it was before. However, Meta is also going to get hit with Paralysis via T-Wave. So that leaves us, of course, in a situation 6-6, 4 on reveals for both, and paralyzed guys on both sides. Now T-Tar comes in. Thankfully not on a T-Wave. It does show that it has lefties, and he goes for Focus Punch, thinking there's no way Regice stays in due to the threat of Rock Slide. That turns out to be correct. It is Coon that comes in, and that Focus Punch from a non-CB Tar does a ton, so this has got to be some kind of offensive Coon to take the Focus Punch that badly. Clearly not a bold defensive Coon. A lot of switching for both. Regice normally beats Zapdos, but the power could come back to bite him here. But Triangles is not comfortable taking the chance. Neither is Jirachee, as it turns out. And spikes come down, but the spinner immediately comes in. Starmie for Triangles. Protected Rapid Spin respectively. Sure. Doesn't really tell us anything other than the Starmie does in fact have Rapid Spin, as they basically all do. He's going to try it again, and he's going to be blocked by the incoming Gengar, previously unrevealed, for Jirachee. And he goes for HP Grass, a great neutral there between the Starmie and, I guess the T-Tar, but it works on the Claydol as well. He didn't know that that was there, but it certainly works in this instance. So double spinner for Triangles. Interesting. Did he scout that Jirachee is a very spikes-heavy player? I personally don't think Jirachee is a super spikes-heavy player. He's a very offensive player, but I don't think he's a spike spammer compared to a lot of people in this tournament. So it's an interesting bring to go double spinner against this particular opponent. But we'll see if it pays off for him. Jirachee did in fact have spikes this game, but he also has a crit this game. That +1 Surf is going to take Zapdos out just like that. And all of a sudden, what was a close game is now clearly favoring Jirachee. See if Triangles can come back from that. He fishes for some hacks of his own with a body slam, trying to get power, full power, what have you. But that does not occur, and the rest gets off. Healthy Coon now, nevertheless, gets out of the way just in case Doll wants to boom on it. But that's not what happens. It ends up just being Skarm. He's going to go on the offensive with Drill Peck. Rapid Spin confirmed on Claydol. Not that it's ever going to not have Rapid Spin, but that gets off, so spikes are temporarily gone. And they are reestablished immediately by Jirachee as the Starmie comes in again and Rapid Spins. And now Starmie is going to be on the bad end of Drill Peck, 28%. Recover. And spikes. Standard so far. Both players obviously aware of the Gengar in the back, which is not what happens here, and thankfully, because T-Wave there would have really crippled the Gar, but Jirachee did not let that happen. Went to the Coon. Now Meta comes in still paralyzed from before, but the Coon is also still sleeping from before, so fair is fair, I suppose. Skarm back, and full power there. Not sure what he would have gone for. Here's Starmie reappearing, and there is Spike's Lair number 2. We'll see if he tries to block it, knowing that it's a T-Wave star on the other side. This time, Triangles gets it right. He Rapid Spins. It's not the Ghost. It's the Coon. And the spikes are gone. But this loop does not seem to be threatening to Jirachee in any way. And, man, that Zapdos crit seems more and more huge as this game plays out. Seemed like a poke that Triangles would have really wanted. Interesting. Refresh meta from Triangles. And another crit. That sucks. Triangles is really in some trouble, and both of those KOs are from crits. He needs to win this game and a game 3, but I think he's going to now have a hard time getting out of this game, regrettably. I feel for him because nobody wants to be eliminated from a tournament in this fashion, but unless he can really conjure up some hacks of his own, it's looking like that'll be the case. And unfortunately, the 2 pokes that he lost to the crits are both among his more offensive threats. This bulky T-Wave star is not going to get it done. Claydol's not going to get it done. The supportive Jirachee set with Body Slam isn't going to get it done. So I guess it's Cheetar, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. But I think, unfortunately, it is going to be no one can, because those 2 crits were just... Oh, there's another one. Why not? But those crits were just backbreaking. What can you do? It's just one of those games. What can you do? He doesn't get the power there either. Triangles just can't catch a break. This T-Tar is going to have to be like DD Focus Punch, which in and of itself is just super unlikely and weird. And he's just going to have to get everything that he needs. He's going to need to just get perfectly timed crits, flinches, what have you. Just completely, utterly get there. Everything cooperates from here on out. He's not a DD set. He subs up. Maybe if Kuhn is just indefinitely full parried, we can do some work here. Triangle's doing the only thing he can do, which is to sub and just pray for para, which does come, but he's going to need more. Rock Slide, give me a para, give me a flinch. All right, little something. He gets a flinch. Now doll in, that could be an issue. We don't know the last move, but if it's Earthquake, you can't do anything to this doll, so it's going to have to be like HP Bug or Double Edge, or the doll's a real issue. Okay, it is HP Bug, but he really needed a crit there that he didn't get. And there's Boom on the Starmie, so it is now only the T-Tar against 5 from Jirachee. And one of them, unfortunately for Triangles, is meta that I don't think he has any way to deal with. He goes for sub there as a desperation option. Does not work out as meta is faster. He sub trying to catch a Boom, hoping that he was faster, but he wasn't. There was just nothing to be done there for Triangles. That was an unfortunate way to be eliminated from the tournament. Now, game 1 here was a lot closer and could have gone either way. It also came down to some hacks at the end, to a really relevant crit. But this one, I think, was a lot closer. And Triangle still could have won despite the BS that happened. This second game, though, man, how do you win that game from Triangle's seat? I think anybody in the spot that he was in with the way that it played out would have lost this game. There just wasn't anything you could do. This is one of those crappy games where people look at Pokemon and say, man, why do people take this game seriously? Why do people play this game for money? There's too much RNG. I don't necessarily agree fully with that sentiment as in general, but in this game, yeah, it happens sometimes. And it really couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I really like Triangles, and like I said, he's a CI3 champ. Nothing to prove to anybody, but this is not going to be his year. He's going to go out with a respectable 2-2 record, a perfectly solid performance. But nevertheless, he is going to be out, and Jirachee is going to continue on in this tournament in the lower bracket. He has looked very good in this tour. 3-1 now, and honestly, I mean, he could be 4-0. His set against Johnny, which is the one that he did ultimately lose, was obscenely close. The game 3 between them was one of the very best games of the tournament, without a doubt. Highly encourage you to go back to that round 2 matchup and check that out if you missed it. Alrighty, that is it for me for the evening. Not a lot of Friday gaming, but Saturday and Sunday, you know how it is. The rest of the matches are coming soon. I will surely get them on YouTube as soon as I'm able. In the meantime, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video / enjoy the tournament in general. Thank you much, and I will see you in the next video.